What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new YouTube video. I was actually debating on if I should draw this out and clickbait and give you guys the answer that you probably clicked on this video to see at the end of the video. But I was like, today's a deload SPD session, so I don't really have too much to show. So I'll probably just show you guys clips from today's session over this, and I'm just gonna talk straight off the top and give you guys my raw thoughts, right? The federation that I plan to compete in going forward is going to be the IPF. And that might be surprising to some people, it might be unsurprising, but it's a decision that I came to a really long time ago, actually, maybe even before nationals, in my heart of hearts, I knew that's what I wanted to do. But, I finally got to the point where maybe a month ago or so, I was concrete on all right, cool, this is what I want to do. So what I want to get into in the rest of this video is why I made that decision, what that means for me going forward, and also what my short to medium term plans are. So why I decided to make that decision. Now, I'm not unique in that decision that I made. A lot of people actually made the exact same decision. So you had a lot of top level guys from the USAPL, like Austin Perkins, Bob, Ashton, Keenan. I don't know if Keenan actually made that decision yet, though. He hasn't said anything. Angelo Fortino, Russell, and a lot of other people. That's just on the men's side, and the women's side, it was even worse, right? You had a lot of people make that decision. For me, considering that I am from Trinidad and Tobago and I live here, it was even more so a glaring decision for me, just because in the USAPL, doing nationals just like everybody else who did USAPL nationals did, and then doing the Arnold just like everybody else who did the Arnold, I felt unfulfilled, kind of like everybody else did, kind of oh yeah, well, what is the next level? But it was even worse for me because it's well, at nationals, I'm hey, I'm a guest lifter. So it's I could go and I could put up whatever crazy good performance, and then, people are just oh, well, yeah, it was good, but, he was a guest lifter, and if he wasn't a guest lifter, he probably wouldn't have done that, and it's just not a great feeling to have your hard work and, everything that you put into the sport just go, not unnoticed, but almost I don't even know the word to put on it, but basically you put so much into it and, you don't get out of it what you think you would get, So I think for me, the decision was clear to make. I just feel if I should be on bigger stages where I am not only just allowed to compete, but I'm included in the competition. I am, a definite person there. I'm not a guest lifter. I'm not, all these different things. And yeah, that was basically the main thing. And then the big thing outside of that as well was just the level of competition. If, for example, I was to decide to continue competing in the USAPL and I continue to put up these big performances and everything like that, it would be against no one, because even in my weight class, the guy who won nationals, Devin Williams, he left and he's going to powerlifting America, So it's just a situation where it's I don't want to compete against nobody, and I think one of the things which a lot of people could probably resonate with is that when I got into powerlifting, I didn't get into powerlifting for money. So it's yes, there is some money in powerlifting now. I believe the USAPL Arnold final is going to be a $20,000 prize for first place. And the likelihood of me winning that if I did go and do that meet is high, because of everybody who left and everything like that. So it's a pretty high chance that I would have won that meet, But the thing is, I didn't get into powerlifting for money. I got into powerlifting because I love the sport. I got into powerlifting for the competitive aspect of it. And I got into powerlifting, really to be the best, to be the strongest, And while on paper I could be the strongest, and on open powerlifting I could be the strongest in the USAPL, it's something about going head to head and going, to the competitions where everybody else is, and just simply proving that just means a lot to me. So that's kind of like the why of why I did it, or why I am doing it. I haven't done anything yet, and that's kind of tying into my next point of what that kind of means for me going forward. So what that means for me is that I am going to face a suspension from the IPF. So on paper, that suspension could be anywhere from 12 to 24 months. I personally don't believe I've done anything to deserve a suspension longer than 12 months, just because I have no anti-doping violations. I've just simply competed in another drug-tested federation that is not under the IPF umbrella, and I've done 2 meets. So yeah, in my situation, most people who have done exactly what I've done have received a 12-month ban. So I actually sent in my request to the local body here, which is the TTPF. I sent that in a few weeks back, and I'm waiting to hear back on them, kind of like on what is my suspension period and what is, basically the situation on that. So, I hope I get 12 months. In my upcoming YouTube videos, I will update you guys on that as soon as I hear back from it. But that suspension period should run from the date of my competition, which was September 17th, to 1 year from then, or how many other months from then of the suspension. Again, I do think it will be 12 months, just because people have had anti-doping violations at extremely high level meets in the IPF, and they've only gotten 14 months or something like that. So for me to get anything more than 12 months, I'd be very surprised. But as I said, I'll update you guys on that. So that literally means, best case scenario, I will be looking at being eligible for IPF competition at the end of 2024. And with the time period in which Trinidad Nationals usually is, that means that for the whole of 2024, I will be excluded from any international competition, because I won't have any time to qualify and then go ahead and do it. What that also means is that I will I will most likely not be at Sheffield 2025. I will also most likely not be at the World Games in 2025. And I'll probably only be able to do a few regional and maybe some international meets in including Worlds in 2025. So yeah, the best case scenario is really not a good scenario, just because even if all goes well and I get that 12-month suspension and everything like that, I'll still be excluded from a lot of the big meets coming up, the biggest one being World Games in 2025, and then Sheffield next year, and then Sheffield the year after that. So 2026 is really when I would be fully back on the horse and everything like that. So it's not necessarily a great scenario. At best I could hope that Article 14 gets lifted, but I would be so surprised if they do, because they don't really have any reason to. So yeah, that's kind of where we at right now. And even facing all those things, the reason why I decided still to even switch over to the IPF is just because I really don't want to put in all that work, all that effort into kind of like preparing myself for like a big competition in the USAPL, like the Arnold or Nationals or whatever, and have my work go unnoticed, so to speak, or like unrecognized. So it's a situation where I hit the highest dots ever, or I hit some massive total that nobody in 120 has ever hit, or whatever I do, right? And then there's a situation where it's like, oh well, yeah, you know, it was really good, but it was in the USAPL. It was this, it was that, like that. I don't think you guys understand how much that like hurts me, because it's like, damn, bro, like, you know, like I just competing where I can, so to speak, you know. So, yeah, it's not a great situation. Best case scenario is still a bad scenario, and the worst case scenario is God knows what. So, yeah, it is what it is. A lot of times when I think about it, I get like mildly discouraged. I can't lie, but like the only thing that that like keeps me like going is that like I do believe, and I was talking about this on King at Lifts, is like I do believe that I am, you know, one of the best powerlifters ever, if not the best powerlifter ever. And it's like I just really want to prove that, and I just really need to get on stages where I can prove that, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep trying. In terms of what my like short to medium term plans are, I'm not just gonna like sit on my hands during this entire suspension period. I'm going to more than likely do a mock meet in like the first half of next year. I'll do like a mock meet, try to beat back my total. I'll take it very seriously. Obviously all 3 lifts on one day. I'll weigh myself in, all these different types of things like that. So I'm gonna really still hammer down and try to like make progress, because the biggest thing is gonna be like keeping my motivation up to just like do things and keep pushing forward, you know. Like I had a big total at USAPL Nationals at 10:45, and you know, a lot of times it's very easy to like rest on your laurels, and it's like, oh well, nobody's near that, you know. But if I like slack off for the whole of next year, by the time I get to the world stage in 2025 or whenever, somebody might be there, you know, and I can't afford to still be there. So yeah, I kind of feel like everybody has a one up on me, because they have that like fire to keep them alive of like competition, and I just simply have to go based on like hope. So it's a tough situation, but yeah, I guess it kind of is what it is. The only solution is to keep getting stronger, literally. Like, like that is always the solution. It's just to keep getting stronger, keep getting better, keep building, and you know, just enjoy the process. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. As I said, I'm gonna get back consistent with the YouTube videos. I'm locking in for that mock meet next year. I have a very, very big goal total in mind. I want to come very close to, not come very close, I want to hit a 600 bench. I want to push into the 900s on deadlift, and want to push into the high 800s on squat. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and comment down below any like thoughts or ideas you guys have. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.